On 9/11/2001, terrorists hijacked 4 airliners with the intention of flying them into buildings. Due to the element of surprise, 3 of the 4 did reach their intended target. The last one failed because the news of the other 3 reached those in the 4th plane. Before 9/11, passengers on a hijacked plane would hope that they could sit still and things would end up okay in the end. Now they immediately attack any hijacker or else risk being flown into a building. By sunset on 9/11, the tactic of using airliners as weapons was no longer a viable option for terrorists. Yet a decade later, we are still shooting ourselves in the foot, defending ourselves against an obsolete tactic. Many people believe that security measures must be inconvenient. Worse still, many people believe that something, simply by being inconvenient, must somehow provide security. The Disney TFR is an example of something that provides no security and is inconvenient. For those who don't know, the Disney TFR is restricted airspace around the Disney World property in which only terrorists are allowed to fly. It is possible that the main purpose of the Disney TFR is to keep competitors, such as nearby SeaWorld, from sending in airplanes carrying advertising banners which could be seen by those attending Disney World. I have not heard what the stated purpose of the TFR is, but I imagine that it is to provide security. I have also never been told what security it provides. It is painfully obvious to anyone who spends 10 seconds thinking about it that this restriction does in fact provide no security. One could imagine that the purpose is to provide the illusion of security, so people attending Disney World won't feel threatened. A simple thought experiment will show that this TFR does not provide any security and that the argument that it is there to provide the illusion of security is also invalid. Imagine that Chris, who lives in Ocala, wakes up one day and hears a voice in his head telling him to fly a small plane into Disney World. Chris goes to the Ocala airport and takes off in a small plane. As soon as he is airborne, he radios Jacksonville Approach, telling them his plans. Over 30 minutes later, he arrives at Disney World. He has to avoid hitting a sheriff's helicopter and successfully crashes into a tree at Disney World. This simple thought experiment shows that the Disney TFR is worthless. It did not provide any security. Also, the next day in the news, the whole world learns that the TFR does not provide any security. Now, if it is true that the purpose of the TFR is to provide the illusion of security, and the illusion was no longer there, then they would take down the TFR. Yet, somehow, we know that the TFR would not be taken down. So, if the purpose of the TFR is not to provide security, or the illusion of security, what is the purpose? Anyone?